Right. Who's here? Nobody just yet. Yeah. No, right, it's all right. Yeah, no problem. No, it's no worries.
Yeah, so find the hamstrings first, so you get to come back. Okay. You go as deep as you can, so you have, there you go. And now just think about just holding that extension, so you use that core.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, Pat, how we doing?
Yeah, good, you.
Wait, is that when the boxing?
I want you to try next set, hold a little bit deeper. So, the new range we got down today, where you 2 or 3 below your neck. Yeah, I hold it by that set up. So you core gets used to holding the pelvis that low as well. The other part of the pelvis will want to come from
Oh, right, such.
Try, there you go. Well, that's all right. You got your bed over roast, don't
Check the time. 1 minute past. Just me and you so far, Sean?
It's nothing new.
No.
Evening, mate.
Oh, who we got? Someone sneaking in here, look.
How you doing? You all right?
Hey, Ellie. Yeah, good, mate. Good. Good. Just saying to Sean, it's just me and you. And then you popped in.
Yeah, I couldn't miss out on the occlusion, buddy. I was just looking forward to it all day.
I may as well.
I shouldn't put it on Facebook, should I? Leave it as a surprise.
It almost didn't come. Almost didn't come. Hey, I'll put you on mute, man.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Right, we'll get a quick warm up then, and I'll talk you through what we've got planned today. Right, what we're going to need? We've got to do a bit of slide stuff. We need our chair for our levitation squat, pistol squat. We're going to do some loaded lunge walks today, which we've not done before. Sprint dynamic lunges, Tabata occlusion, metabolic work, something for the calves just to ease us out a bit at the end, really. Bloody thirsty today. Right then, so I'll go and grab my chair and we'll have a little warm up. Right. Position this somewhere a little better. We don't need to raise the body temperature too much by running or jumping around. Let's just go straight into mobilising these hips a little bit. So let's start with some internal external rotation of the femur, working in this frontal plane. Out a hip, bit of hamstring as well. So from here, I'm just going to swing it through. Get in the middle of this camera a little bit.
There it is. Okay.
So if you turn the foot in and out as you perform this movement, you get internal and external rotation of the hip, which is a nice extra in that transverse plane through the leg, which is a nice addition to your warm-up. Just mobilise those hips a little bit. Just turn 90 degrees, bit of hip flexor and hamstring. Each rep progressively deeper on these dynamic warm-ups. And again, the opposing leg then. Frontal plane, internal external rotation with the foot. Get a lot on the inner thigh.
Hold lower down.
And 90 degrees. Hip flexor hamstring on the other side. And relax there. Let's stay on the hip. See if we can bring in that bit of a hip hinge, activate the glutes, lower back, hamstrings. Swing the arms through. Thoracic extension, of course, think about this thorax and back up. Hold it at the pelvis, hip hinging. Couple more. And staying on that midsection for some rotations. Free up the feet. A few clicks there, my lower back. Steady squat. Let's just get that squatting movement. We'll make it more dynamic in just a second. Couple more. Let's turn this squat into a check squat. And relax there, good stuff. Just a bit of hip flexor work then. Let's just go for that reverse lunge. But as we drop, push through with the hips. I want you to try and open up that hip flexor and back to the top. So try and get through best you can. Really push those hips forwards as you descend into this reverse lunge. Excuse me, balance. Couple more. Last one. Okay, good stuff. Right, we're ready then. Let's get going. All right, so let's start with our knee dominant movements first. Designed to recruit the quads a little bit more than the hip dominant stuff that we're going to do sort of secondary in just a second. So we've got some giant sets today. So we're stringing the work together. So we're going to start with the left leg for a giant set, have a good rest, and then go on to the right leg for a giant set. So the movements are levitation squat with the chair. We're familiar with that. It's been a staple for us all the way through. Pistol squat immediately after. Again, we're familiar. Prisoner squat after that, but leading with the left leg and staying on the left leg. You'll see that when we get there later. But prisoner squats, hands on the head, just like a prisoner. Staying low, of course, kind of like a stress position. Loading up those legs with just body weight. And then we're going to do for the final movement, a loaded lunge walk. I'll just talk you through that loaded lunge walk. It doesn't seem like much on its own, but when you use it at the end of the exercise like this, the end of a giant set like this, it's quite tough. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to drop into a quarter squat on my left side, and my chin, I want my chin to line up with this, with me knee if I can. So I'm going to just put my toe back, and I'm going to touch my toe, just rest my toe, and whether you can see my toes there, just next to me foot on this bent leg. So my right is moving. I'm going to stay there. 3, 4, 5. Doesn't feel like much now, but as a little finisher for the legs on the end of a giant set there, that left leg's going to be screaming away anyway. And that's going to be a nice little finisher. We've not done those before. That loaded lunge walk. So drop that straight line off that chin. It lines up with the knee. Good scap, depression and retraction. Tip of the pelvis, that hip hinge. And then we've got that stepping backwards and forwards of the right leg, of the sort of non-loaded leg, if you like. And that's going to load up that left side if the left side is planted. So that's our giant set for knee dominant stuff. So I'm going to start with my left leg, levitation squat, into pistol squat, into prisoner squat, into loaded lunge walks. Set your rep targets. We're just going to do one, expletive or bust set on the left, one shoot or bust set on the right. Let's see how we go. Okay, levitation squat to start us off. So like I say, I'm starting on my left side. Okay, here we go then. So levitation squats. Use that chair for a spot. Use that chair for balance. As soon as you're ready, away you go. Now remember, before we start, keep these shoulders square, keep these hips square, knees track the toes. Everything wants to be nice in the sagittal plane, nice and square, nice and straight. We don't want to be twisting off and losing control of these hips. Good. Yep, cheers. Thanks, Mark. So hinge at the hips. Drop in, drop, 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 drop. Don't put that trailing leg down until you have to do. 1. So away we go into this set then. 2. Let's see if we can get a good 10 to 12. 3. Don't put that leg down, so it's all single leg. 4. Work on that negative. 5. 6. So we go for as many reps as we can on this left side. It's 1 set on the left hand side. Just keep them coming. To start us off. Hinge at the hips to allow this leg to stay off the floor. If you rest a little on this thigh, that's okay. It'll make it a lot tougher. 1 more for me then. All right, that's my 12. Immediately into left side. We're staying on this left side. Levitation squat. Oh, that's tough. Remember, negatives, light touch. Nice if you can get the same amount of reps. One more. Oh, 12. Prisoner squat. I'm going to drop this down a little so you can see it. No rest really. If you can, we're going to lead with the left and stay leading with the left. On the knees, hands on the head, left, and then take it in. Keep the left there. Always left. Keep the left planted. 3. Keep that left planted. 4. Keep the knees bent. 5. Keep chipping through. 6. 4. 7. 8. 9. Legs burning now. 10. 2 more. 11. 12. Oh, okay, into these lunge walks. Load up that left side. Bend. Knee, chin, knee. Touch. 1. 2. 3. 4. Light touches. 5. Tiptoes. 6. Hinge, hip hinge. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Oh, that burns the quads. Whew. First giant set, left side, good minutes breather. Second giant set on the right side. So you've run through it once. Levitation squat, around 12s. Pistol squat, I've got 12s. Prisoner squat, 12. Loaded lunge walk, 12s. Gives you about 50 tough old reps. Unilateral on one side. And then we flip to the other side, 50 reps on the opposing side, really. So take your fluids on. Hot day. Oh, that was hard. Whew. Left leg's gone all wobbly. So letting the left leg rest now. Onto the right. All right, let's get set up. That chair in there. Be a spot. So remember, hinge at the hips is going to allow you to keep this leg, trailing leg, off the floor for as long as possible, so you can really load this right leg. All right. Good negatives, of course. Hips, shoulders, square. Hinge at the hips, drive that heel down. Scapular retraction, depression to keep that sort of tip at the pelvis, a good one. All right, let's run the same thing on the right side. Here we go. 12 levitation squats. Trying to get right down. This leg's not touching down until I'm getting right down there. One more. Oh, pistol squat. Into the chair. Same amount of reps. Oh, come on. One more. Prisoner squat. Leading with the right leg this time. Think about the right leg all the time. Starting kneeling. Hands. Right. Left. Left. Right. Right. That's the way we're going to load the right leg. 5. Come on. Hands on your head. Nearly there. 2 more. For me anyway. Last one. Up we come. Loading the right side now on these loaded lunge walks. Quarter squat, chin, knee, touch. 1. Light. 2. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Oh God. That was tough. Building up there and burning in the quads. Whew. Good recovery there. Good near maximal effort on the left side. Ooh, quads are cramping up. A good near maximal effort on the right side there. 50 reps or so, 50 tough challenging reps. on that joint set for the quads, and all knee driven movements, knee dominant movements. So while we recover, get that heart rate down, get the fluids on board. Let's talk about these hip dominant movements that we're going to do to complete the joint set. That's going to hit our hamstrings, glutes a little bit, lower back. So we got slide hamstring curl, tough exercise, both legs going together. So we're familiar with that one. So bilateral movement, we call that one. Elevated hip thrust with your chair on your left, quick swap. Elevated hip thrust on your chair with your right. And then we've got sprinter dynamic lunges, which are going to be tough. Obviously, remember with your sprinter dynamic lunge, there's a lot more hinge. So we'll work through them together. You know the movements. We'll work through them together. So if you're on carpet, Tupperware dish lids. If you're on a hard floor, some dusters, some cloths, some rags will help your feet sort of slip. Right, I'm a little bit away from Mark, was in the usual spots just a second ago. So we're been relegated to this spot in the gym. So let's see if we can get these slide hamstring curls going. First up, so I'll have a go on the hard floor with my dusters. So I've got one set there, one set there. Remember, the hips want to stay high. Ooh, you can. There we go. Yep, heel in the middle. See how we go with those. Put over a touch. All right. Hands out to the side. Remember, keep your hips up before you start. Between it, you know, in between every rep, before you start your next rep, just push those hips up. Push those hips up. Keep the glutes off the floor before you start your lift. That'll help you hit your hamstring. 10 to 12 of these, and then we're into your chair. We'll spin it around the other way. Chair for your elevated hip thrust, single leg. So bilateral movement into unilateral movement, left and right. All right, here we go then. Oh, hip wasn't very high. 2, 3. Hard to get your hips up. 4. Here. Do your best. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Quick change if you can. Once you've done your reps, that is. Done my 12. Into your chair. Chair out. See how things look. Minimal rest if you can. I'll shoot for 12 again if I can. Here we go. 1, 2. Straight lines. Knee, hip, elbow. 5. Easier said than done. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Swap over to the right side. Away we go. Two more. Push those out of the way. Dynamic lunges now with your sprinter style. So remember, the sprinter style just has us touching down here with a hinge of the hip and then coming up as we swap. touch. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stringing these big movements together gets the heart rate up. First giant set done for hamstrings, glutes, lower back, posterior leg. All hip driven movements mostly. 12 slide curls, 12 elevated hip thrusts left, 12 right, 12 dynamic lunges at the end. Feel that in my lower back. Certainly felt it in my hamstrings. We've got one more of those to run before we're into our metabolic stress and our occlusion training. Everyone's favourite. Get that heart rate down before we start this next set. So slide hamstring curls to kick us off. Elevated hip thrust left, elevated hip thrust right. Sprinter style dynamic lunges. You can stay tall in those. Keeps the hip flexion extension out of it, which makes it a bit more quad driven. You can touch down with your hands in a sprinter position, which gets more torso flexion, which of course makes it a little bit more posterior chain driven, which is the idea that we want to try and move the emphasis away from the quads, which we did with that previous giant set, try and get it onto the back of the leg. Okay, let's get set up for our second time round with this. Hamstrings. Certainly feel these. Just tipping over to feel them getting tight. Just bending over to make the adjustments there, and the hamstrings are letting me know. All right. Okie dokie then. As soon as you feel ready, hips up, hamstring curls. I'm shooting for 12s. See how you go. Good reps if we can. As soon as you're ready, off you go. Hips up. 2. That's a better rep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. Onto your chairs. Elevated hip thrusts. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's a tough set. Oh, quick change, right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's tough. Don't rest too long, come on. Sprinter style dynamic lunge. 12. Here we go. Touch, swap. Oh, that's a hard joint set. Tough work today. Good rest there. Get that heart rate down. Let them legs recover. But let me lower back as well. Oh. So 2 sets of knee driven or knee dominant joint sets done. 2 sets of hip dominant joint sets done. And I can attest to that because my hamstrings and lower back are letting me know. Now we're into a little bit of metabolic stress, occlusion training as well. So the bootstrappers that we're going to do, when you're resting at the bottom of your bootstrapper, you've got impeded blood flow or venous return, impeded venous return. The arterial feeds are all fine, but it's the venous return that's compromised at the hip and also at the knee. So all those metabolites that build up from anaerobic exercise have nowhere to go. The body can't get rid of them. So that's what burns and festers on the muscle. That's what gives that unpleasant feel. But metabolic stress dictates that as those metabolites build up, that's one of the signalers for muscle protein synthesis. One of the developers for it's one of the signals of how we develop our physique. So as much as it hurts, just keep telling yourself it's for your good, the good of your legs. So it's a good exercise, and it's a body weight one, so you don't need any equipment. That's a litre of fluids in this session already. Right, so bootstrappers, Tabata style, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times round, 4 minutes work. Our rest is at the bottom in the occlusion position, in the closed, in the venous shut off position. You rest at the top and you're shaking your legs out, fine. You're doing the work, but you don't get the benefit, or you don't get as much benefit of those metabolites burning and burning and burning and upsetting your legs on a cellular level. All right, so bootstrappers it is. When we get on, need my clock, which is going to help me time. There we go. It's going to help me time these bootstrapper sets. So quick reminder, bootstrapper, 10 to 12 inch apart. Your heels don't really bear any load. It's all on the balls of the feet. Make a 10-inch square with your feet and your thumbs, 90% straight. Sit there. It's like a standing leg extension. You've got to have reasonably healthy knees, reasonably healthy ankles, good range of movement, not so tight in the hamstrings. So if you can tick all those boxes, we're safe to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First set, away we go. Rep them out. Count your reps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Time, 10 seconds, 17, first one. Knees inside the elbows, stay there. Easy for me to say. And set 2, off we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Rest there. 2 sets of 17, knees inside the elbows. And away we go. Third set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, rest there. 17, 17, 16. 3 sets done. Into our 4th set, off we go. 6. Oh, kicking in now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 time. 13. Rest at the bottom. Okay, guys, we're halfway there. Okay, set 5, where we go. Rest there. Down to 12 reps. 3 more rounds. Here we go. 6. Oh, oh, oh. Rest there. 2 more rounds. Rest at the bottom. Only 2 to do. Come on. Number 7. Away we go. Oh, oh, knees inside the elbows. Come on. Oh, rest there. Last one coming up. Stay low. Stay down. Let it burn. Last effort. Let's do it. Oh, come on. And time. Oh, oh, legs. Oh. 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 Don't worry about me if I'm not talking for a bit. Just have a recovery there. Oh my God, that's just horrible. Is there a worse thing you can do on your legs? I do 5 sets of 20 squats on a regular basis, which is sickening in itself, but for a bodyweight exercise, that is just horrific. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times through. That's just horrendous. Oh. As soon as you feel ready and able, up you get, walk it off. Get that lactic acid out your legs. Maybe even elevate your legs now, if you've got something to rest them on. Just get that waist out your legs. Let's have a good rest there. I'm just going to go and get another bottle of water. Wait a minute. sickening that. I was glad of the walk down to the fridge just to sort of walk the legs off. Good rest there. That's the upper leg work done. We're going to ease the sort of session down with a little bit of calf. Similar theme though, giant set. We're just going to change the relationship of the knee and the ankle, which determines the recruitment between your muscle group underneath the main muscle of your calf. So you've got your soleus and you've got your gastrocnemius for your lower leg. So the more bent knee you go, the more soleus, the more straight leg you go, the more gastrocnemius, the more sort of traditional calf recruitment you get, the taller you get. So our giant set now is nice and low for reps, halfway up for reps, and then all the way up into our tall position for single leg on the left for 12 reps, 15 reps, single leg on the right for 12 to 15 reps. If we shoot for 12 to 15 reps, we'll get between sort of 50 and 60 reps for our giant sets now for our lower leg. It's not going to feel as taxing systemically, all right, whole body systemic, all right, so it's going to be more localized. Whilst I could feel that the damage was done on my quads just a second ago with that metabolic stuff, my whole system felt taxed, whereas it's probably not going to feel that way for the calves now, all right, so we've done that purposely, so we've come out of this exercise phase with something that's not quite as taxing. So you want to get your chair set up. Yeah. Bring your chair in. All right, so we're going to start. It's kind of going to be aggravated by the fact that we've just spent a lot of time in this position in your bootstrappers. But we're going to come to the bottom there. We've got the occlusion of the upper leg, and we're just going to come up onto our tiptoes. It looks like a small movement, but you can really feel your calf and your soleus firing up. So we're going to go as soon as you're ready. Then while we're here, let's do it then. So there's 3 for me, 4, rocking right up. So almost like so your trainers are vertical. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to shoot for 15. 10, 11, 12. If you get 15s on the first set, 15. Now I'm coming up 90 degrees and going again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Couple more. 14, 15. Now I'm tall left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Last one. 15. Now I'm tall right side. 7, tall as you can. 8, 9, 10, 9, 12, 13, 14, and rest there. Good stuff. First one done. And I can immediately feel that the stress is localized to the calf. It's not systemic. I'm not feeling completely shattered whole body wise, whereas I have been all session training the upper leg. So easing our way out, I can already feel my system's returning back to normal, my heart rate's coming down, my breathing, my ventilation pattern is coming down, I can feel my temperature lowering a little. So it's kind of acting as a little bit of a cool down, this, which is no bad thing. So let's give the legs a little shake out. We're going to run that again. Keep taking the fluids in. It's a real hot day. That's my third one of them this session. Must have been dehydrated, possibly. Let's keep the calves under stress and let's go again on that. So as soon as you feel good and ready, let's run that again. Starting low. I'm going to shoot for 15s again. That felt pretty good. That gives me 60 reps again. Here we go. Working those calves as best we can with no weight. 6. That's the whole point of these sessions, that compromise. Only got our body weight to use. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Half up. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Kicking in now. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Up to the top, left side. Halfway there now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. That one burned a bit more. Right side, last 15. 15. Oof. 2 giant sets there for the calves. Nice little cool down, bringing the body out of the exercise phase. Feel a bit better than I did 10, 15 minutes ago, which is good. Calves suitably feeling it, got a good burn. There's a bit of fatigue building up in the lower leg. So we've had a good leg workout today. How are we doing for time? Coming up 10-2. All right, good. So we've got a 5-minute stretch off on legs. And we ain't doing too bad for time today. All right then. So while we've got the chair out, let's have a little go. Whizzing through some stretches. Quads first then. Let's get something out there to protect your knees. Whatever you've got. I'm just going to grab one of these yoga mats. All right, so just elevate one of your legs there. Drop that knee down. Get that heel back. Glute back to that heel. Stretch out the quads as best your flexibility levels will let you. Quads, top of the quad. Hip flexors, getting some length, which is good. All of that point of discomfort, feel that stretch take, lengthen out these fibers. Look after that mobility, that flexibility. Relax there. Let's give you a quick swap. Opposing leg while we're here. Ooh. Right. Stretch out that quad. Pelvis under. Hold near that point of discomfort. And relax there, good stuff. All right, into the hamstrings and inner thigh. So I'm going to start with my left leg. Pop that left leg up. I'm going to sink into the stretch a little bit by dipping this knee. I'm going to keep my hips in anterior pelvic tilt in extension. Bring my toes up. Then I haven't got to worry about tipping at the torso. I can keep my torso tall with the scapula back and down. And I have a little hinge of the hip. And I'm just feeling that in the quads. Glutes tight in your quad. And you're going to get a good stretch in that hamstring. Just hold it there. Stretch out. Feel that point of discomfort. Dip in. Feel the hamstring stretch. And relax there. Turn 90 degrees. And then dip into your inner thigh stretch. Just that point of discomfort. Feel the length in the muscle. Relax there. Okay, swap to that right leg now then, or opposing leg. Hamstring first. Remember, toes, anterior pelvic tilt, or bring the hips into extension. Dip, tighten this quad, and you'll feel it in that hamstring. Holding at that point of discomfort. Oh, I can feel that. Relax, turn 90 degrees so we can hit this inner thigh. Dip in. Feel it on those adductors. Bring the leg inwards. Inner thigh muscle groups. Oh, relax there. All right, using chair for balance. Let's get that outer hip. So, figure of 4. I might the wrong way. Long day. Sit in. Not the next one, I suppose. You've got your balance and your spot here. Open up this hip. Relax. Same the other side. Figure 4 across, sit into it. Open up that hip. Outer glute. Now relax there. While we've got the chair, let's take one leg back leg straight with the heel down, toes dead forwards, nice and tall. Try and get that heel down, walk it forwards, feel that stretch on the calf. Oh, lengthen out that lower leg. Swap over. Back leg straight, heel down, toes dead forwards. Keep your toes off the side, you're going to lose a bit of that stretch. So toes at 12 o'clock. Holding it there, lengthen out that calf. Let that stretch take. Go again. And relax there. Job done. Good starts to the week. Smashing out the legs. What time is it? 5-2. Finished early as well. Must be because we're stringing giant sets back to back to back to back, so you get the work done a bit quicker. Well done, everyone.
Tell me, mate.
How'd you feel them on those boot strappers? What did I get?
Two sets out, so I got I think like 74 or 80, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd have got. 70, I think 17, 17, 16, 13 or something, and then it went to about 10 or something at the end. So yeah, tough though. Them.
Yeah, they suck. Got more than last time.
Yeah, that's it. Legs done for another week. So consistency, as long as you're ticking that box, you're progressing, which is good.
Did I say, are you opening up on the 4th?
The 4th, yeah, we're shooting for the 4th. I'm hoping that nothing stands in the government's way of allowing us to open on the 4th. We've still got some building work going on in the club. We've got some exciting stuff happening here. So I haven't put anything out on Facebook yet, but I'm going to do pretty soon, just let everyone know what's going on. So it might be that there's a bit of disruption for a couple of weeks after we open, but it'll be well worth it in the long run. So
Sounds good.
Yeah, make the place better. See if we can encourage these members back that we've lost.
So do we have to like work out in like little plastic bubbles sort of thing, or?
I've read somewhere, there's nothing confirmed, but I think Boris Johnson and the government are going to coincide the reduction of the 2 metre rule with pubs, clubs, bars, gyms opening on the 4th. So he's either going to bring it down to 1 metre, I think, or 1.5 metres, which is so much easier to work with than 2 metres. It's very restrictive working to 2 metres.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for that, because I won't have to move around any kit then. If it's 1 metre, everything can stay where it is, which is really, really nice. I've held off moving stuff around because I kind of thought this would happen.
Yeah.
A few of my pals who own sort of independent gyms, they've moved everything and they've put 2 metre signs, 2 metres, 2 metres. He spent loads with this one kid, spent loads. But I thought they might change it to 1 metre. But we'll have to see. Nothing official yet.
Yeah, I suppose they can change their minds at any point, can't they? So who knows?
This is the frustrating thing, because you try and do the responsible thing, like these lads have done, and do what is expected of you, and then they move the goalposts, and then move the goalposts, and ultimately it just costs some money, which they don't have at the moment. Everybody's fitness-based business is at its weakest at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that coupled with having to spend more money, like hand sanitizers, rags and cloths and blue rolls, and we're going to be. It doesn't sound like much, but when you've lost all your members, it makes a big difference. 200 quid a week extra on.
Absolutely, yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Before that's make or break for small businesses like ours. So it's going to be tough, but we'll get through it early.
And I think, to be honest, mate, I think July is going to be like January for you. I think you'll have so many people joining up, and people have been trapped inside and maybe want to start getting fit as well as the people that have left.
Yeah, I hope so. One of my worries was the government putting the brakes on the rush. So, for example, if they said to us you can only have 30 in the building, you can't mass sell. You can't make hay while the sun shines, I guess. Then,
yeah.
That would really, really kick your business in the proverbials. But I'm hoping that we're not too restricted and we can just use common sense, and we can get our businesses back to where they should be. I'm hoping.
Well, yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, thanks, Early. So appreciate your support as always, mate. And
no worries, man. No worries at all.
Is it us looking at doing the videos or?
Oh yeah. Are you carrying on the videos when he reopened, or are you?
Yeah. You got to try and look for the positive, haven't you? And every cloud has a silver lining and all that. So what I'd like to set up is, in the not too distant future, is maybe a camera that points at the instructor of the classes that we're running, so you can stream our body pump or circuits, or
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that we don't have to maybe teach them separately. You can log on as it's being taught live, I guess. So that's what I'd like to do. So all it needs me to do is put a camera in here somewhere that's set up to the internet, and it would be on Jules, or it would be on Ali, or it would be on Maggie, or whoever's teaching the class, and then you can work from home. For body pump, for example, you don't need to buy yourself a set of light dumbbells and a barbell, and you've got everything you need to join in the class.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's good to know, man.
Yeah, so that's another one of the, as well as the building work, of course, that's another sort of positive thing that we're trying to get going when we can open again. Because these streaming sessions, I don't know, I must have lost my popularity or something, but other instructors, they've been flying with them,
I was expecting a lot more of the lads to do this sort of maintenance thing, but
yeah, I mean that's why I sort of did them, because I looked at all the classes that we were proposing that we were doing, and I looked and I thought there's nothing muscle building really, and I thought more lads would jump on this. But if it's not dumbbells or barbells or in a machine, I guess they're just not interested. But you can build a cracking physique doing this stuff. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah, or even just to keep you ticking over while the gym's closed, like you said. It's just
stops your muscles, stops your strength losses, stops your muscle losses. So I guess it's just sort of us small bunch that see the value in it. But it's a shame that the young lads didn't jump on it, because I was hoping that they would buy into it a little bit more. But anyway.
Oh, well, they're lost, man.
That's the kids for you.
Yeah. Anyway, mate, I'll hopefully see you on Thursday. Again, I'm not sure if I'll make it. But
Brilliant. All right then, Ellie. Nice one. Thanks, Kim.
Bye, man.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Matt.
See you later. See you. Thanks,
Cheers.
Sean.
Cheers, Pat. Thanks for that.
I'll see you Thursday, hopefully.
Nice one, mate. Yeah.
Down. See you later, mate.
Yeah.
See ya.